Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub. The 2025 Honda Shadow 750 has arrived, and for those who know the legacy of the Shadow line, you already understand the kind of motorcycle we're about to dive into. And for those who are just discovering this cruiser, prepare to meet one of the most balanced, dependable, and iconic midsize cruisers in the motorcycle world. This is Bike Culture Hub, and today we're going full throttle into the soul of the Shadow 750, a machine that's been redesigned for modern times while holding on to everything that made it special over the decades. If you're craving a cruiser that delivers comfort, presence, and power in equal measure without draining your wallet, Honda's got something worth your attention. From the very first glance, the 2025 Shadow 750 commands respect. It carries the silhouette of a classic American-style cruiser, but with a distinctly Japanese precision in its execution. The low-slung stance, stretched-out front end, teardrop fuel tank, and that sweeping rear fender, everything about its proportions is just right. It's big enough to look muscular but not so oversized that it becomes intimidating. Honda has refined the paint finishes this year, with deep metallic colors like obsidian black metallic, crimson flame red, and a limited edition shadow gray with blue pearl pinstriping that absolutely pops under sunlight. Chrome is tastefully used across the engine casing, exhaust, mirrors, and headlamp housing, striking a harmonious balance between retro vibes and modern taste. The bike doesn't just look like a cruiser, it feels like one, even when it's parked. Powering the Shadow 750 is a liquid-cooled, 745 cubic centimeters V-twin engine that's been carefully tuned for smooth, torquey performance. It's a tried-and-true SOHC motor with a 52-degree V-angle and dual-plug cylinder heads, giving it a deep rumble and a responsive throttle. What makes this engine so special isn't just the specs on paper, it's the experience it delivers. It starts with that low-end torque, pulling hard right from 2000 RPM and holding steady up into the mid-range where most riders will live. It's not a speed demon, but it's not meant to be. This bike is built for the road less rushed. It's about soaking up the scenery at 80 km per hour while knowing you have enough roll-on torque to overtake or cruise at highway speeds without breaking a sweat. The engine produces around 44 horsepower and 64 Nm of torque, which may not sound earth-shattering in today's world of high-performance bikes, but that's precisely the point. The Shadow 750 doesn't try to outmuscle anything, it chooses instead to outclass with comfort and refinement. The 5-speed gearbox is smooth, with positive clicks and a light clutch pull that makes shifting easy even in traffic. And because the bike is shaft-driven, it's cleaner, requires less maintenance than a chain, and contributes to that smooth cruising sensation with no lash or jerkiness. It's one of those features that really stands out over time, especially for riders who rack up serious miles. When it comes to handling, the Shadow 750 is delightfully manageable. At 553 pounds, about 251 kilograms, wet, it's no featherweight, but Honda has engineered this bike for balance. The low 25.9-inch seat height keeps the center of gravity down, and once you're on the move, the bike feels far lighter than the spec sheet suggests. The wide bars offer excellent leverage, and the 41mm front forks paired with dual rear shocks provide a plush yet composed ride. Cornering clearance is adequate for a cruiser, enough to lean into sweeping backroad turns without scraping too soon. Braking is handled by a single 296mm front disc and a 180mm rear drum, which may seem a bit old school in the age of dual discs and radial calipers, but again, this bike isn't trying to be a sport bike. The brakes are tuned for linear response, and combined with standard ABS, you get consistent stopping power without any surprises. Ergonomics are a strong point on the Shadow 750. It's a bike designed for hours on the road without making your back beg for mercy. The riding triangle is relaxed, with mid-mounted foot pegs that allow for a slightly forward leg position, a wide and cushy saddle that supports your lower back, and swept-back handlebars that fall naturally into your hands. The result is a riding posture that suits riders of all sizes, from shorter riders who appreciate the low seat height to taller ones who want room to stretch without cramping up. For passengers, the rear seat is decently padded and there's a sturdy grab rail, making two uprides very doable. Optional accessories like a backrest and touring bags take it even further into comfort territory. The instrumentation remains clean and uncluttered. A large analog speedometer is mounted atop the tank, with a small LCD display tucked in for the odometer, trip meter, and fuel gauge. It's simple, classic, and just enough information without overwhelming the rider with digital distractions. One nod to modernity is the inclusion of a USB-C port hidden under the seat, perfect for charging your phone while using it for navigation. Lighting has also been updated for 2025, with full LED front and rear lights that maintain the bike's retro appeal but drastically improve visibility and energy efficiency. The exhaust note deserves a special mention. Honda has worked to retain that signature shadow rumble, and the dual exhaust pipes emit a throaty growl on startup that mellows into a bass-heavy burble at idle. It's not obnoxious or overdone, it's mature, refined, and absolutely addictive. At higher revs, there's a deeper growl that never gets buzzy, reinforcing the cruiser character while keeping things civil for long rides. And unlike many V-twins that vibrate your fillings loose, the Shadow 750 uses dual counterbalancers to keep engine vibes in check. The result? A ride that feels alive but never annoying. Fuel economy is another area where the Shadow 750 quietly wins. With a 3.7-gallon, 14-liter fuel tank and an average of around 55 miles per gallon, about 23 kilometers per liter, you can easily squeeze over 300 kilometers out of a full tank. That makes it perfect for weekend road trips or daily commutes without frequent fuel stops. And because it runs on regular unleaded, it's a lot easier on the wallet compared to some high-performance bikes that demand premium. Now let's talk price. The 2025 Honda Shadow 750 starts at approximately $8,499. That's a remarkably fair price considering what you're getting: a full-sized, high-quality cruiser with bulletproof reliability, timeless style, and everyday usability. It undercuts many of its competitors in both the Japanese and American markets, yet it doesn't feel like a compromise. Honda's legendary build quality means this bike is as solid as they come, and you can expect it to run trouble-free for years with basic maintenance. For riders looking to get into the cruiser lifestyle without blowing their budget, it's hard to find a better value. One of the most unique selling points of the Shadow 750 is its approachability. It's a cruiser that welcomes new riders with open arms thanks to its low seat, smooth power delivery, and forgiving controls. But at the same time, it's a bike that seasoned riders can respect and enjoy for its composure and comfort. It's not flashy or loud, it's confident and capable, and that quiet confidence is something you can only get from a machine that knows exactly what it is. In a motorcycle market increasingly filled with high-revving, high-tech machines chasing performance numbers, the 2025 Honda Shadow 750 offers something refreshingly different. It reminds us that riding is not just about speed or horsepower. It's about connection, rhythm, and freedom. This is a bike that slows time down in the best possible way. It's about rolling through the countryside on a Sunday morning, the sun bouncing off the chrome, the engine purring beneath you like a living heart. It's about comfort, soul, and simplicity. And in that simplicity lies its magic. So, if you've been waiting for a cruiser that blends classic charm with modern reliability, your wait might just be over. The 2025 Honda Shadow 750 isn't trying to be the fastest or flashiest bike on the road. It's trying to be the most soulful, and in that mission, it absolutely succeeds. Thanks for riding with us on Bike Culture Hub. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dive reviews and two-wheeled stories. Ride safe, ride free, and as always, stay connected to the culture.